On the afternoon of November 24, 1971, a man walked into Portland International Airport. This guy, by the name's Dan Cooper, he wore a plain black suit, a white shirt, a narrow black tie, and dark sunglasses. He carried only a briefcase. No one could have predicted that this seemingly ordinary man would soon vanish without a trace, leaving behind one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in American history. Dan Cooper, later misreported by the media as DB Cooper, boarded Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305, a 30-minute flight from Portland to Seattle. But for Cooper, this was no ordinary flight. It was the beginning of a legendary disappearance. As the Boeing 727 took off, Cooper calmly ordered a bourbon and soda, lighting a cigarette as he sat in the last row of the plane. Not long after takeoff, he handed a note to a flight attendant named Florence Schaffner. She initially tucked it away, assuming it was just another phone number from a lonely passenger. But Cooper quietly leaned toward her and whispered, "Miss, you'd better take a look at that note. I have a bomb." The note detailed his demands: $200,000 in cash, 4 parachutes, and a fuel truck ready to refuel the plane upon landing in Seattle. Calm, methodical, and polite, Cooper's demeanor remained chillingly composed throughout. Flight 305 continued to circle the skies above Seattle for hours, while the FBI scrambled to gather Cooper's demands. The passengers on board were completely unaware of the danger they were in. Cooper assured the crew that as long as his instructions were followed, no one would be harmed. As the tension inside the cockpit grew, the plane finally landed at Seattle-Tacoma Airport. True to his word, Cooper let all the passengers go, all except for the pilot, co-pilot, and a flight attendant. With his money and parachutes in hand, Cooper gave his next set of instructions. The plane was to head toward Mexico City, flying no higher than 10,000 feet and at a slow speed, with the landing gear down. He wanted the rear exit staircase to remain deployed during the flight, an unusual and risky maneuver for a plane in mid-air. Flight 305 lifted off once again, heading south. The FBI trailed the flight with planes, hoping to track Cooper's next move. But at around 8 p.m., somewhere over the dense forests of southwestern Washington, Cooper made his move. Cooper opened the rear door of the plane, feeling the cold rush of wind and rain as the night sky swallowed the plane. And then, just like that, he jumped. In the middle of a storm, with nothing but $200,000 in cash and a parachute, Cooper disappeared into the wilderness. When the plane landed in Reno, Nevada, hours later, FBI agents rushed on board, only to find no trace of him. For weeks, the FBI launched one of the most extensive manhunts in U.S. history. Planes, helicopters, ground search teams, they combed the rugged terrain where Cooper was believed to have landed. But there was nothing. No parachute, no body, no money. It was as if Cooper had simply vanished. Who was DB Cooper? Was he a professional skydiver, a military veteran, or simply a man who took a gamble on one of the riskiest heists ever? Over the years, thousands of suspects were interviewed, but none fit the bill. Nearly a decade after Cooper's jump, in 1980, a young boy camping along the Columbia River stumbled upon something unexpected: 3 bundles of cash buried in the sand. The serial numbers matched the ransom money given to DB Cooper. This discovery reignited interest in the case, but the mystery only deepened. How did the money end up so far from where Cooper was believed to have jumped? And why was only a fraction of the ransom recovered? Over 50 years have passed since DB Cooper's disappearance, and still no one knows his true identity or what became of him. Some believe he didn't survive the jump, that the harsh terrain claimed his life. Others think he escaped, living out his days in quiet anonymity, laughing at how he pulled off the perfect crime. To this day, the legend of DB Cooper endures: a man who, with nothing more than a briefcase and a parachute, vanished into thin air, leaving behind the question that continues to haunt us. Where did DB Cooper go? And that's the story of the mysterious disappearance of DB Cooper, a tale that keeps everyone guessing, even after all these years. So this is how DB Cooper looked like in real life.